Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel. And, we talk about Microsoft. We talk about how Microsoft doesn't listen much to the requests of the users. Somebody was mentioning the feedback in the Insider program as a great example of there's a lot of people asking for stuff. There's a lot of people asking for different features. The Feedback Hub is there to, express ourselves, say I don't like this, I like that, and we get into, of course, features that show up and people that don't really necessarily want features that are showing up. The impression of Microsoft not listening is, of course, not just an impression. It is a fact that we're not being listened to. Now, is it Microsoft that's the problem? I think there are people at Microsoft that do care about this. But the biggest problem in Windows and Microsoft itself, we know that, it's like the Windows team is divided into different teams. They're divided into one will work with the, graphic user interface. One will work with, different menus, different things. So you have all of these people working each on their own side of different features, different things, and it all has to come together at some point. But we know one big thing about Microsoft, which has been going on for a long time. There's internal wars, basically. When a company gets too big, each team wants to kind of have its own thing and not necessarily listen. One of the ways we see that there's different groups working on stuff is when you go into one menu and it looks like, this, and then you go into another menu and it looks different. Even the fonts are different and even the feel is different. You notice that, these people aren't working together. They're working each on their own. And instead of having a visual of this is the basics of what it needs to look like everywhere, everybody just, pulls the string and does their own thing and don't really care about the others. And I think that is the main reason for a lot of the problems in Windows, first of all. The other problem that we have in not listening is I think there's a bunch of engineers and people at Microsoft that think I think honestly that a lot of the people that design some of the Windows usability and the user interface and all of that, actually I do think that they are convinced they're doing us a favor and helping us and making and designing something in a certain way. And that is also the other problem, is an engineer is not going to design something for a user. An engineer has its own ideas of, he's in his head. And he designs stuff based on his knowledge. Problem is, what the engineer thinks and, designs and what the user wants is often very far apart. And one of the biggest things I think happening is they're trying to do something new in Windows 11. They changed the user interface and the menu and so on. But they maybe oversimplify certain things, so there are things missing. There's, contextual menus that are not there that were there before, and so on. There are things that are obviously bad by design. I mean, one of the biggest complaints is that famous start menu here, where you, even if, they changed it so that you can customize part of it, it still has, empty spots when you go into the settings and try to play with the start menu. It's weird because you're kind of thinking, how bad. I had a couple of comments of, I'm a developer and it's not always easy. Look, Microsoft had a working toolbar that goes everywhere. The taskbar would move everywhere with the start menu. And it doesn't in Windows 11. Don't tell me it's a tough thing to do. You did it in the past. It was in Windows XP. I mean, These are not things that I believe in when you say, oh, well, some things are complex. Yeah, but they've been done before. You're not reinventing the wheel. It's what's different. So, and they give us these weird excuses, and we're going to come to that. I'm going to do another RANT video. I'm going to do a couple of RANT videos of things not right now. So, the internal battle between the different groups, the fact that some people think that this is the way we need to go forward because they have their own ideas, a little bit like Windows 8. Somebody decided that this is the future. Yeah, no, it was not. It was really not. It was a future for mobile devices if you had a phone, but not for a computer. And of course, that person got fired before Windows 8 was completed, but they had Windows 8, so they had to bring it up. They had to make sure that they release it. And then they kind of fixed it with a little update, but they fixed it more with Windows 10, which became back with a standard start menu and all. But we're stuck in people that design and that are in their heads and that obviously don't understand what we do. I don't think Microsoft doesn't care. I think Microsoft is just lost with too many people trying to do things and not examining what us users actually want. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.